Hey, I'm making a quick video this evening. It was about a thought I had earlier, and it was about single women and married women and whatnot. And I was thinking about the difference. We all heard the term "single women keep their friends single," but there's also something that's been going on that we all know about. Um, the single by choice, or happily single, coming from the female perspective. Here's where I've started to see or even the childless women. Now, these all wrap up into one. And one of the things that I've recognized, or I've come to observe, is that when single women or childless women get with married women, women in relationships, or women with children, they're not there to be encouraging. Every time you hear every time you hear this single childless women talk, they literally go on about the negative stuff that they hear from women in relationships, with male partners, and it's confirmation bias. To be quite honest, it's confirmation bias. They never talk about, when they get on the internet, they never talk about any of their coupled friends, or uh friends with children, or childbearing friends, or however you want to state that, and how they're always talking about how they love how little Johnny smiles or gets his favorite treat and he giggles. They never talk about that. They never go online and talk about how their friend's little baby girl loves to clean on their mommy's dress, or gets happy when they see maybe like a butterfly or a squirrel, or loves to pet dogs or whatnot. All the really good, wholesome things you get from parenting. Watching your kids grow up and they're entertaining their favorite interests or hobbies. And yes, little kids can have hobbies. It'll be a hobby for a day, but it's still a hobby. But they never talk about that. They never talk about how their friends, be doing. I forgot the proper term, but talking positive about their male partners. They never tell you about that. They always want to tell you about the negative stuff going in their friends who are in relationships' lives. They always want to talk about that because it's confirmation bias. It makes them feel better about being single and childless. It makes them reassured that they made the right choice by coming online and talking about the few instances that they hear their coupled friends' lives. In other words, the tea. They want the tea. They want to hear the negative stuff. Why? Because then they can get on the internet, talk about their confirmation bias, and then make other women who are single and childless feel not so alone. While at the same time, 3 or 4 posts later, get on here and talk about, it's so hard to be alone. I thought I would have everything together. And it's like, hold on, wait a minute. Just a couple of hours, you made a post about you were happy being on the beach, not worrying about no nigga. You were happy, on the plane in business class by yourself and hadn't to worry about no children. Like the chaotic dissociation that most of the females that come on the internet is concerning. It's very concerning. Another thing that I've come to observe is that most women who come on the internet, they don't want to talk positively about their male partners, even if they're nothing wrong. They'll tell you that after they've done something drastic to alleviate any type of negative emotions that they have. And because of that, sudden alleviation, the sudden realization of their decisions hits them twice as hard. Because they because they refuse, I won't say don't, they refuse to recognize how their negative emotions affect them and their family. They refuse to emotionally regulate because they've already done the work. They're already emotionally intelligent, and yet they'll come on the internet and they'll tell you their deficiencies, but it's worded as self-improvement, epiphany, man bashing, i.e. misandry. And that's hella concerning. That is very, very concerning. Because if you're going through something with your partner that can be easily handled with a simple conversation, you don't need outside influences. And there's one thing that's remained true about any relationship is that it's you and that other person. Everybody else does not matter. Everybody else does not matter. And I truly believe that if you are in a healthy relationship, let's talk about this. Most ladies who get in their friends groups, before I wrap this up, they get in their friends groups and everything else can be going in their lives. But because it's not perfect, they're going to complain about something, which gives the false impression that they're in a undesirable situation, which is not the case. You know, I'll compare it to first world problems versus third world problems. First world problem, I have an iPhone 16 and no charger. Third world problems, my infrastructure is crumbling and I have no power or water. First world problems, I forgot to fill up gas and I need to call AAA. Third world problems, I need to find a way to get my family out of this war and torn situation. It's night and day. Third world, you're thinking about survival. First world, you're thinking about self-comfort. You're thinking about self-comfort. Unless you're black, then you got second, third world problems. Second world, industrialized, but you still had to have a third world mentality, survival. But that's a whole different situation. But yeah, women with spouses are in favorable situations and they get online and start to overvalue what they contribute. And it's not like what they do in the relationship is not appreciated. It's that they put more value into it. In other words, they inflate not only the cost, but the labor that they do within a relationship, especially if they're getting, the max 8 out of 10. If you're getting the 8 out of 10, the 80-20 situation, why are you constantly complaining about the 20%? And the thing is that because the other 80% is taken care of. They have nothing else to complain about. So how possibly can it be interesting to their friends? How can they possibly, talk about their lives if nothing interesting is going on? It's not like they're picking up a hobby. It's not like they're starting, to go to school to help to help elevate the family. And if they are going to school, they're doing it for selfish reasons. And that's what I've noticed. And it's very, very sad and concerning. Like, why do you feel you need to complain about a situation that sounds pretty much resolvable within the confines of your relationship? You get mad because your man comes in, takes off his boots at the front door, and takes off and throw his clothes into the laundry room, but it never hits the laundry basket. It's in the laundry room where the laundry is supposed to be. Why are you upset? It's not like he's coming in and just making noise and then destroying the entire area. That doesn't make sense at all. And especially if he's working long hours. You practically have the house all to yourself. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I can understand if all the stories had a common theme. Like, I've just got off of pregnancy and my husband's not really holding up his part of the childcare. I can understand that. I had to wake up every 3 hours while my wife was asleep. I woke up in the middle of the night to take care of my twin boys whenever they cried. Okay? I understand. I was the one changing most, if not all, of the poopy diapers. I get it. I don't understand about pulling your weight. I understand about postpartum. You know, I understand that, but what I don't understand is if you have an 80-20 situation, why are you worried about the other 20%? I don't get it. Why are you complaining to your friends just to be interesting and demeaning your partner who's giving you the majority of what you want and need? It seems very counterintuitive. Women groups, I never really analyzed because they never really concerned me in any major impactful way. They never really caused harm in my life. I've never been a target of one. I never had to impress one of my ex's girl groups. Never. You know. But, you know, doing the social media thing, looking at content, consuming content, and hearing women talk about their views on certain situations of, life and society and whatnot, it just seemed to be an endless damsel in distress. But I'm not a damsel in distress. I'm the one dominating, but I still want help. It's very confusing. If you're in a good relationship and you find things wrong with it that doesn't seem like there are any real consequence to them, why are you on the internet complaining about it? Why are you trying to make it a thing? If you're single and childless and you're happy, why are you complaining about something you're not in? Why are you complaining about relationships when you're not in relationships? Why are you complaining about men when you're not with any man? Why are you talking about dating when you say you're happy being single, childless, and not dating? Like, I don't get it. Why are you in arenas you don't need to be in if it doesn't apply to you? And that is the biggest thing about this. A lot of women are on the internet talking about subject matters that doesn't apply to them. Like, I don't want to hear anything from a woman that's in an interracial relationship talking about black love. It doesn't make sense. The same way as I don't want a black man who's only dated non-black women talk about black women. I don't. You haven't been with one, you haven't paired with one. I don't want to hear your opinion. And in fact, it's mute. And that's what I'm saying. It's very contradictory to hear single childless women talk about their friends' lives who are not single, who have children. And I really want the hypocrisy to stop because it's ridiculous. Well, that's it for my thought of the day. You have a good night.